Yep. Yes, you are seeing right. You don't have to rotate your phone. You don't have to do anything. We are going completely vertical for this video. While I'm sipping my tea, I'm about to spit some knowledge. It's gonna be fire. It's all about the vertical video, the one that's pretty much underrated when it comes to creating content and creativity and message delivery. You know, for whatever you're trying to get people to know, I believe that stories and IGTV, vertical video, very underrated. Very underrated. So in this video, I'm gonna be teaching you and telling you the ways in which stories on Instagram and Facebook, as well as story adverts, mainly story adverts, can give a new perspective and breed new creativity into the content that you create. And engagement, you know, because that's a very key thing. The way you engage when you come across a story ad as opposed to the ads on the main feed. So it's very interesting how the story is very underrated and how Instagram incorporating the story, I think it was about 2-3 years ago, into Instagram completely changed the game and just changed the way we advertise and the way we communicate. So I am therefore very excited to also learn, how much do you use stories? Have you made any stories ads before? Do you use your IGTV function? Are you a content producer? Do you need content production? And what's your take on stories as a whole, you know? But let's get this started. So here are the facts. Instagram has recently released, it says, in January 2019, Instagram reported that 500 million people used Instagram stories. 1/3 of the most viewed Instagram stories are from businesses. 50% of businesses on Instagram worldwide create at least one story during a typical month. 96% of US marketers surveyed plan to continue using stories ads in the next 6 months. So that's one thing. That's the official data from Instagram. Another advantage of why people use Instagram stories and why they're great for data capturing is the ease of access to the analytics that come with Instagram stories. All you have to do is simply swipe up to see who's viewed your stories, how many times they've been viewed, the impressions, the reach. Everything is right there. Now, there is this function as well in the main feed, but you have to have a business account. So that's one advantage to using Instagram stories. Now, the best way to optimize Instagram stories, as you can tell from the article, that most people create businesses create one story per month on average. If they could boost that number to up to, say, 5 creative stories every month, they could boost their engagement and have a larger share of those 500 million people that view those stories get that attention. You know what I mean? It's all about attention retention. You know, attention retention. You want to retain the attention of your customers and potential customers and your stakeholders. It's a very useful tool to communicate with your clients and potential clients. I want to address the swipe up functions. Now this relates specifically to ads on Instagram stories. It could apply as well to those that aren't running ads. If you have less than 10,000 followers on Instagram, you can add a link. You can link people to your website, to your article, to your YouTube videos, to your Twitter feed, whatever you want to link them to. All they have to do, if you have not the amount of followers that are needed, you just add that link and you just say swipe up. You can even use a GIF. I do this all the time because I don't have the acquired followers. I always tell people to swipe up to check out my latest IGTV. the latest IGTV video. Every time I create the latest IGTV video, I simply put the link to that video to the piece of content on my story, and I simply urge people, I put a call to action to swipe up. Instagram does provide its own call to action. However, it's nice to have that added GIF, or tell them myself in the content piece to swipe up to see the latest content. Another added benefit is the ability to link people to your latest piece of content from your main feed in your Instagram story. Whether that be it from IGTV, you could share that to your story and they could just click on it and see the latest IGTV video. Even on your main feed, you could go to your main feed, you click the share button, you say share the story, and you just urge people, call to action, see my latest post, and they could see the feed. That aids people in not missing your feed, as well as the post notification, turning that on. Turn that on always on my YouTube channel, post notification squad on. So yeah, that's about the basic features that you could use to creating and engaging better with people with your IG stories, as well as on Facebook. The same functions are available on Facebook. I believe the only function that isn't available on Facebook is the music one, which now they've also added this great function where you can have lyrics to the music that you're listening to, that you've put in your story. I think it's amazing for storytelling and just having some creativity and fun and engagement in your stories. Man, it's a beast, you know. Every time you think the Instagram story has developed and is amazing, they just add more and more features to make it better. You know, thinking about polls. If you want people to vote on a certain thing, you could add a poll in. You could even add a poll and boost that poll. You could literally have that as an ad just to gather data. There's not even quizzes. You could, I remember I used this with a client. I actually do this for my clients. I create a quiz with 4 options, one of them being the correct one, and I just get to know. I create the quiz based on the facts of the business itself, just to get to know how many people and what people know about the business. It's great to have people learn more about your business and what you're up to. Another function that I really love just for creativity is GIFs. GIFs are amazing. I love to use GIFs. I love to use GIFs in conversation. I love to use GIFs on WhatsApp, and they're amazing for Instagram stories, just to add that pop and that creativity to your content piece. And last but not least, I just checked questions. That's also one of the latest features on Instagram stories. It's the questions tab. Now this is very interesting because you could use that to have people ask you questions, or you could engage people to tell you something, tell you about themselves, learn more about your customer base, your fan base, whatever it is. You know, you could use that function and even put, I think there's up to 7 or 10 colors that you could choose from. It's amazing. It is amazing to see how all of the ways that Instagram stories can add to the story you're trying to tell, no pun intended, and engage with your client base, and for business purposes help you grow and help you communicate. So I do hope that this helps you consider Instagram stories, ads more, and also let me know if you would like to know how to create the best Instagram stories. Other than that, for anything more, please visit www.perpetualart.media for all your content and branding needs. Until the next video, secure the flourish on a whole other level. It's always love.